Hi everybody, this is Texas Yarn Lover. Thank you for joining me on this tutorial. I've had several of my subscribers ask me to do a video, and I'm sorry it's taken so long. I've been pretty busy trying to wrap up work. As you may or may not know, I'm quitting at the end of February. And so today I'm going to show you what you need. Here are the materials. You can either use one of two hooks. This is an E-hook or a 4 to 3.5 millimeter, or if you're using a different thread, and I'll show you the difference on which one you use with which. This is an 8 hook in steel crochet hooks, which is a 1.5 millimeter crochet hook. And what you use with each one of these, this is in Mexico they sell this, and they call it cristal or crystal. Here you can find it, I haven't been able to find it locally. I can only get it over, online, and I found it at Annie's Attic. It's called Omega Cris, that's C-R-Y-S, and I'll put all the descriptions, names, and links down below the video. And it's a number 1, so you can use anything really. You don't have to use this one. You can use regular yarn, which is, you're going to have to go up on your crochet hooks, but if you're interested in these black ones that I've used, that's the material I've used for these. This is a type of material, and I've gotten this from Mexico actually. A friend of mine went, and I asked her, please bring me, gave her 20 bucks, and she brought me a whole bunch of, little balls of different colors. I said, I don't care what color, just bring me a bunch. And so she did. And then you can also use this, which is locally, you can grab this locally, Red Hard Fashion Crochet Thread. It's a number 3, and this is the one that it recommends that you use an E-hook. So this is what I've gotten. If you don't feel comfortable using an E-hook, whether it's too big, too bulky, whatever, go down one more size, which is the next size would be a D-hook. So this is what I'm working with today, and I think I'm going to work with actually the Omega Cris, because I don't have any earrings in yellow and I really want these for myself. The other thing that you're going to need is, and let me find them, some hoops. This is just really inexpensive hoops that I've gotten. These are silver color, and you're going to need whatever size you want. Of course, the bigger your hoops are, the more stitches you're going to have to add onto the actual hoops. So just keep in mind that if you're making these, there is a wrong side and a right side to most earrings, but with this one, you can't really tell. So whichever size you want to make, whatever side you grab the earring from, it's not going to really make a difference. So let's get started. I also forgot to mention that for these hoop earrings, if you want to add the beads, you can. You just have to pre-string them, and I'll let you know during the video when to insert the bead. Okay, so for the beading process, this is what I use. Now I'm going to scooch these over and show you the beads that I'm going to use today. These are sort of like a cube looking. Okay? So you can use any type of bead is fine. It doesn't really matter. People kind of make it really hard on themselves with what they're going to use. Now I use just a regular needle for this, and this is how I do it. Now you have to pre-string, remember, your beads. I slide the yarn over the needle. That kind of creases it and makes it really easy for the string to go through. Now the trick is to test these, because I never know if this is going to work or not, because the yarn might be too thick, or the needle head would be, but this fits in there just fine, and it just like butter. So just pre-string them. This is what pre-stringing is, where you mount your beads on your yarn or your string, whatever you're using, so they'll be ready for when you start to crochet. They're already on it, and you don't have to say, oh, I have to undo all my work. So this is what you do. So I'm just using 3 per earring on here. So I've got them all, and you just keep pushing them back and pushing them back whenever you're working with your earrings. Okay? So once that's done, now we're ready to crochet. So you're going to grab your hooks, and I hope you can see this well. And what you want to do is, I usually pinch at the back. Pinch it just like this. Don't make a hoop or anything. If you want to, you can. You can, tie it onto the hook. Whatever your method of getting it onto there is fine. The only thing is that you're going to have to start around the hoop. At least I do. I bring it around, and I single crochet, and I actually pull the tail out. That's just my method. Whatever method you want to use is fine, but that's just the way I do it. And then what you want to do is you want to start crocheting around the hoop. Sorry, the lighting. And just crochet around it, single crochet all the way around the hoop. And that is how you begin your hoops. One thing you do have to take care of, and I forgot to tell you this, is when you're crocheting over your tail, when you get, quite a bit tucked in or crocheted over, you can stop crocheting over it and just leave it to the side. That way, when you finish going all the way around, and mine I've actually left it too short, but you can cut it off and it'll be just fine. So just a note for you guys, if you're getting all the fuzziness at the end because it's just not all tucking in, some of it's sticking out, that's the problem I run into when I'm crocheting. I just leave it out, kind of pinch it with this finger, or maneuver it to where it doesn't get tucked in anymore, and continue crocheting without actually crocheting over the tail. Once you get that one crochet, it's pretty much easier. It's hard to hold the tail down and crochet at the same time, but if you can get at least 1 or 2 stitches, then you're good. You're home free. And then when you come back around after you finish all your crocheting, you just cut that off, that tail off, and it'll be just perfect. Like no seam at all, no fuzzies, no nothing. I'll meet you at the end of the row. Okay, so I'm back, and I've crocheted all the way around the earring. So now what you need to do is pull out a little bit and place your hook down, because you won't need this for this step. What you're going to want to do is turn all your stitches to the inside. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but before you were crocheting around the earring with the stitches on top, now you want to turn them over and crochet with the stitches on the inside. On the inside of the hoop. So turn them all around. Okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to pull the loop from the middle. You're going to attach it to your crochet hook again. And before we go on, I want to show you, this is how I do it. I'm not lying to y'all. When I said to just stop crocheting over your tail, here's my tail. Having really bad focusing issues right now, guys, so please forgive me. Here he goes. And I just snip it off, and you can't tell. And I'll try to get a close-up shot of that. I mean, there's a little bit, but nothing major. So that's what I do to my tail end, and it's a nice clean finish. So now you're crocheting with your thread going through the back of your earring, okay? And you're going to be crocheting on the inside. And for these stitches, what I've done is I have actually had elongated stitches. I just stretch out my string or my yarn, then I count however many I want to skip. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to crochet into the 6th stitch. And here I do want to do a slip stitch, a single crochet, because it'll hold my stitches better. And that's how that stitches. I don't know if you can see it, but let me try to get a better shot of it. That's my elongated stitch. Okay. And then you keep going. So after that, now you pull your thread up again, and you don't have to do 6 stitches. You can do skip however many stitches you want, okay? I'm going to count 6 stitches over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So I stretch it out a little bit more. And hope you guys can see this. Single crochet. Okay, now you can't see the stitches right now because they don't have anything in them. They're not being pulled by the center. But once we get down to your second row, you're going to be able to see them. So go ahead and stitch. I'm going to go ahead and do this on camera because I know some of you want to learn how to do this. Now you can also do a double crochet, which is when you have your hook here, instead of going directly in here, you yarn over, count your 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or however many stitches you want. You're yarned over. I lost it. There we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Insert your hook there, and you're going to do a double crochet. So that's 1. Whoops. So start all over. Once you got that, you do your take 2 out, take 2 out. Lost it again. There you go. And see, your stitches are taller. Where down here, they're a lot shorter. They're a lot closer to the hoop. And this one, if you double crochet, you get a taller stitch and a lot webbier, if that's a word. So you keep going. Elongate your stitch. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over if you like. And like I said, I don't really care where it's landing. I just kind of stretch it out, and where I see it, where it looks great, then I stop. Stretch it out. So you're never really chaining on the first row. You're just elongating your stitch. Sorry about that. So yarn over, count your stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you elongate it too much, pull your thread in a little bit, and then you double crochet. Okay, and see, you're starting to get that. So if you want to start it out small and get bigger, you can. That wasn't my intention, but it turned out really well, so I like the way it looks. Here is where I'm going to insert my first bead. So what I do, I take off the hook, slide one of my beads up to the earring. I push it all the way there. Now it's here. Okay. It might not be exactly centered, so I might have to pull this stitch out again. Like I said, just trial and error. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Insert. Trying a new location, that's why I'm a bit off today, and I haven't done this in a while, so setting up my camera, getting the right lighting, it's just not working for me today. But I really want to get this video out, so that's why I'm doing this. So it's a double crochet because it's taller. And there's your first bead inserted. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out, take these stitches out, and actually insert my bead here on this stitch. I'm all about the winging it. And for those of you that don't have patience for me, I'm sorry. This is the way I do things. You don't want to do that. That is not what you want to do. Getting that. Make sure you hook it on there. Pull it up. I hope you guys are getting all of this, because I'm trying to do it without looking through the camera because I lose my stitches more, and it just seems not to be working out this way either. I get my hook stuck in all the split my yarn, and that's why it's not working. There. Oh jeez. Okay. So after I've inserted that bead there, then I keep adding, skipping one, stitching one, empty space, and then putting my other bead on there. Okay, so here's where I'm gonna pull up my bead. Just pull it up, yarn over, oops. Count your stitches if you want. If you don't have to. Insert crochet hook, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through once, pull it through twice. Got your second bead on there. Okay? And you do a space stitch. Okay, that's the space one. Here I insert my other bead, my last bead on this earring. Yarn over. Okay, insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull through once, yarn over, pull through twice, second time. So now all your beads are on, okay? You can have them stick in the middle, you can have them on one side, okay? See, that's how they look on one side. So whichever way you want to position your beads, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. Then here we only have one more space to match this side to make it even. So we're going to do a empty space, yarn over, insert our hook through the metal hoop, stitches on the metal hoop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through once, yarn over, pull through twice. Our next stitch is going to be shorter. Okay, our next stitch is going to be smaller, so you're not going to double crochet, you're going to single crochet. So this yarn over that you usually do, you don't do that one on this stitch. And you insert your hook. You need to have 2 stitches here. There's one stitch. Oops, sorry. Because I don't count my stitches, this is what happens. I have leftover stitches. Okay. There's my last stitch, and I just ignore these. I can crochet into them or not. Doesn't really matter to me. They're not going to be noticed by anybody. You can crochet into them just to anchor your row down. Okay, and from here you're going to flip your earring so you're always working from right to left. Open your earring up and pass your crochet thread through to the back. Did y'all see that? It was on this side when I flipped it. So now you want to pass it through to the back side. So now it's all sitting in the back and you're crocheting through the front. So from here the next step is to just keep doing whichever stitch you want to do. But this time, instead of crocheting into the stitches on the hoop, you're going to be crocheting stitches through the elongated stitches. So the first one, I elongated it just a little bit and do a single crochet there. Okay, go through to the second one. Remember, you can always skip stitches. You don't have to crochet into every single one. But for purposes sakes, I'm doing that today. For this video, anyway. And if you keep losing your stitches like this, you can always go up a hook. That way the head is not as small as this one. If you're using this type of yarn or, something similar. Number 1 yarn. For this one, I kind of skip that stitch because it's really hard to get. It's not hard, it's just I don't like the way that looks when it goes into that. So I'm going to elongate this one and stitch into this one, single crochet. Hope you guys are seeing this. Skip this stitch, go into this one. This crocheting around earrings and beads and the hoop is really, it's kind of difficult at the beginning, but once you get used to it and you like the end product, then who cares, right? So you're going to have a little bit of hard time at the beginning, so don't give up, okay? I know you can do it. Just be patient and keep trying. If you keep losing your stitches, just use thicker thread. Just till you get into the practice of it. See, even I've been doing this quite a while. Okay, and I still lose my stitches, so don't get impatient. I urge you to keep trying, keep trying. Okay. And the last one. So once you get, that's our second row. You're starting to see the web happening. You're like, this isn't looking anything like those other earrings, but they are. This is exactly the same way. You can switch it up and make them look however you want them. And see, now the beads are being picked up because this is pulling. When you do every single stitch, you're actually pulling it. When you skip a stitch, you're pulling it even tighter, so it picks all the stitches up. Now, some people say, why don't you go all the way around? I don't know. I like the way my earrings look, not all the way up, because I want some of this showing. If you don't want any of this showing, insert more stitches. Just pack them in there. But take into consideration that when you get to this edge, they're going to start to slip off. And if you're not careful and you're putting your earrings in a bin, when you're moving your jewelry around, which I don't recommend that you do this, I think these need to be hung because they lose their tension with the thread. The thread gets really loose, and I had one pair do that to me, and I had no idea that could happen until it happened to me. So what you want to do is hang them up, and if this thread goes all the way to the edge, then you could lose your stitches and it could all fall off. I mean, you'd catch it, but it's going to be a pain to put it back on there. So just be wary. Okay, so we've just finished this row, second row. So we want to flip our earring again. So if you want to do it this way, you can. You can elongate your stitch, drop off your hook, flip it, pass your yarn to the back, and hook on again. Okay, now here, again, you can crochet into each stitch around, or you can skip a stitch. I'm going to skip a stitch. So here's my first stitch. So you elongate your stitch a little bit, and if you don't want to go into this one, the second one, you can go into the third one and it just elongates your stitch even more. So we're going to do that instead. I'm going to try that. Elongate, and I can crochet into this stitch right here. The whole stitch is all 3 lines right here, as you can see. 1, 2, 3. You can go into here, through here, which is going through the stitch, or you can go underneath it all like this, whichever you like. If you go into through the middle of it, you'll get more of a webby, web-like effect. If you go in through all of it, you get more like a whole, more octagonal or hexagonal or whatever that shape is effect. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5. Hexagon effect. So if you go through the whole 3, underneath all 3 strings, you get the hexagon effect. If you go in through just the top 2, you get the web looking kind of effect. So you elongate your stitch, go through the top 2, and crochet, single crochet, elongate your stitch, top 2, single crochet. Okay. Next one, you can, like this one, you can skip, or you can go into them, whichever pleases you the most. Okay, now you keep going. You can even see how we ignored these stitches over here. You can include them in here if you want by going into that. There's just no wrong way to do these earrings. These are up to you if you want them more consistently. This isn't the pattern for it. This is more free style, or whatever you want to call it. And single crochet here. I'm going to single crochet because I want to make sure that stitch doesn't move up. So again, elongate your stitch, flip your earring over, put it through the back, and then pick up your loop again. I hope I'm not too much off camera, guys. I apologize. So I want to pick up this stitch. I want to stitch into that one, the top 2 only. Elongate your stitch, the top 2 only through this stitch. Top 2 only through this stitch. Gets easier once you start. Like I said, see this web starting to push them together, so you want to split them a little bit more apart. As you're crocheting, you constantly are tightening, or I am anyway. If you want to leave it a little bit loose, that's fine. Okay, so eventually you will crochet all the way up where it's actually looking like it's coming across like these, and they're not going to be straight across. Okay, again, flip your earring over once you get to the end of the row, and this is row 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're working on our 5th row. You can, even before you flip it, hook it onto here if you want to, or stitch onto the first stitch right there. I'm sorry. If you want to finish off this edge that's just not looking right to you, you can crochet around the hoop here, or you can just leave it like this. Okay. And then next, you know what, I am going to my string is now coming from the wrong end, but that's okay. Just maneuver it to where you like to, and I'm going to go into this stitch. And you want to close it up more, you keep doing that. Sorry about that. I skipped one, crocheted into the first stitch, skipped 2, crocheted into the 3rd stitch, single crochet. Oops, sorry, dropped it. Okay. Skip 1, skip 2. Into the 3rd stitch. I know that doesn't look like a stitch, probably isn't, but I'm gonna crochet into that one anyway. And if this is how you like to end your earrings, you can, or you can keep adding even though you didn't crochet all the way to the top, because of course this is being pulled down towards the bottom. But that is how you crochet your web earrings. Okay, like I said, these can pop either way, so there's not really a wrong way or a right way to the earrings. Now, to finish them off, you just simply single crochet. Okay, I like to take it and wrap it around the hoop. Okay, that's my last stitch. Single crochet just, and then tighten that if you're finished with it. Pull your tail, cut it off here, okay, and then you take a needle and you sew the tail right into the single crochet. That's why I end it around the hoop, because it just makes it a lot cleaner. If you end it here in the middle somewhere or on the side, you can't really hide your tail. It's really hard, and believe me, I've tried. But this is the way I do my crochet thread web earrings. I hope you like this tutorial. If you have any questions, please leave them down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.